All right. So, I don't know why, but for some reason, I've been waking up since the first day I posted, feeling like I need to post every day. Um, and it's almost like I have this hunger. I don't even know to do what though. It's like what I'm just gonna talk about the things that I believe. Um, but I guess I have this craving for it because I've noticed that everything I've talked about in every video I've done so far has in a way been sort of solidified and out there for other people to see, and the response I'm getting from people in my family is awesome. That alone is enough reason for me to keep doing it. And I had a little plan. I might keep going with some Sunday readings, maybe depending on the deck I use, but I don't think I'm going to use uh, a fucking. I don't think I'm going to use the cards today. I feel like I just want to talk a little bit, maybe. Um, and there's some things that have been on my mind. Really, just today, last night. Um, I've been up since like 4 a.m. But yeah, um, how how amazing is it that the first thing that we ever do is emit light? Now, what I mean by that is like the first moment our father's sperm reached our mother's egg, there is a little burst of light that happens from a release of zinc that you can see with a special microscope. And you can even there's from what I read, apparently you can even determine the strength of the actual pregnancy or the egg itself depending on the release of the zinc. Uh, we are also light, and in my mind, it's like I was talking about in my last video. I was talking about something in me, like a spiritual flame that's been awoken in me, that I'm trying to talk about on a video so that the energy doesn't get scattered, that it continues to get focused towards specific targets. And it's almost like that first light is the first spark of the inner flame. It shows up in the physical world at the same time that our first cells show up. And something about, I saw it in a video, but it's almost like that light is, it's like, it just makes me think of the sun. It makes me think I don't know if it's the light of the sun, right? I don't, but like spiritually, I feel like I make those connections deep within. That's where the spark, that's where the light comes from. That's where all the light comes from. Yeah. But that's the thing, I guess that's what I really want to talk about, is really what I believe about God itself, or what it is, or what the Geist is, in relation to this concept of the inner spiritual flame that I've been trying to develop. I feel like my whole life, because I grew up Catholic, I left the church like in 6th grade because of some ridiculous, silly shit. I kind of really didn't believe in Catholic God before then either. But I had a realization today that I don't know that I ever really stopped looking for instruction, right? Because that's what was important to me when I was young and I really believed in God consciously. I would beseech God, or the universe, for what to do, answers, and I wouldn't often not get them, but I think it's because I was asking the wrong question, and now I'm a little older and I see that I already was what I was looking for. It was everything else, all of my memories and all of the things I'd experienced that had built this layer on top of everything. But I've always viewed the world or maybe I view myself as existing in two worlds. That's a better way to put it. Right? Like there's the physical realm of my body, my senses, and then there's the spiritual realm. And these worlds are reflections of each other, yes, but also there is the separation. There's the reflection, right? Like you can't solve physical issues with spiritual solutions, and vice versa. You can't solve spiritual problems with physical solutions. Did I say that right? And I think after I left the church, I wanted to deny that there was any spiritual world at all. Now that I'm a little older, I think I'm beginning to realize that might be a part of the strategy. And I'm really hesitant to talk about nebulous theys, obviously. So I'll just name them. I do think it's like there are two ideas about the world at war. Right? We are synapses, and the synapses are reflections of memory and nature and nurture. And essentially, if you can control the synapses, you can create and solve problems. And then the other worldview, and this is generalization obviously, but the other worldview is that there are forces, conscious forces acting upon us at all times. And then by beseeching and appeasing and upsetting these forces is how you create and solve problems in your life. And I feel like part of the problem is that it's like we view them as not being two reflections of each other. Or maybe that's the problem for me, right? But now that I am aligning myself with the greater will, with love, with purpose, it's like everything I want to do, everything I intuitively want to do also happens to align with my destiny. And that's kind of what I was talking about with my reflection reading, was like the path forward is through conflict. Like, part of understanding my strength is putting myself in situations, because my strength is the ability to alchemize everything that occurs around me and to me into something that elevates me towards the higher purpose that I've incarnated here on this earth to do. Which, as I discussed earlier, is to translate spiritual information into the physical realm. So, like, I feel all the time, especially now, that I am directly connected to the Geist, or the source. And it's like I said earlier, how I never really stopped looking for direction from God. Now it's like my intuition is so aligned with what I know is my purpose, that instead of looking for instruction, I look to verify what I'm already feeling. And it's so weird how just that subtle change ripples out through literally all of my habits, the way I eat, like almost everything. I am making these rapid, highly aligned decisions constantly, blah, 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 not even thinking about it. And they are propelling me into my highest self and my highest aligned timeline. And that's kind of the thing, is I'm realizing is like, when I align my will with intention, and I connect it to the thing that connects all of us, that inner flame, nothing can stop me. There is no limit to my ambition. And there's also a lack of ego in it. You know, because I do feel like that's the trap always, right? Is like, how do I recognize the gifts that I have without being consumed by them? How do I hold the flame without it burning me up? And it's so hard. Because there is this part of me that could just... It's like I see two virtual versions of myself. I see a version of myself that is cool and contributes to society and is whatever, though. You know, and then I see this version of myself that is everything that I want to be, everything that I see myself becoming. And I maybe I've always had that. Maybe I've always known my purpose. But now I wake up every day and I feel like that person. Oh, yes. The reason I even thought about that, the fact that we emit light whenever we're conceived, is I saw this video talking about that and the male hormonal cycle. You know, and now that I'm really locked in on myself and really paying a lot of attention, I'm noticing the really small intricacies with how my nervous system affects me, how almost every movement I fucking make affects my emotional, spiritual state. Physically, like every movement I make. And I see my spiritual work reflected in my body all the time too. And like, and the reason I brought up the hormonal cycle is because like I notice me having a 24-hour hormonal cycle in a way that's different, obviously, from a woman's 1 month cycle. And I'm also on a yearly cycle too. I found it. Apparently, testosterone dips in autumn and rises 20% by the same amount in spring. And yeah, I guess it's like we emit light when we're conceived. The moon, we are made of water. The moon controls water. It's like we are a part of nature first, before anything else we're a part of nature. And that feels hidden. That feels like it should be talked about more. That it's not just the earth, but it's everything around us. It's the entire universe acting upon me at every moment. And they talk about like a kundalini body, and how women are really locked in on this monthly cycle of rebirth, death and rebirth within. And apparently men can lock in on this cycle too, which is crazy because it can happen one of two ways: either in a relationship where you just literally lock in on the woman that you love cycle, or with apparently you can there's and I feel actually I say apparently, but I feel that there is this area of inner harmony between the inner divine feminine creative force and the masculine fire, the feminine water and the masculine fire, that when they are balanced within me, I achieve a sense of inner harmony. And that sense of inner harmony that men can get on when they enter into a monthly cycle, that is the Christos, that is the Christ body. It's like your body taking everything that's left over after a month and just sort of moving it back up through the body, purifying it. Right? So there's a physical and a spiritual aspect to everything. And everything that is visible reflects something that's invisible. As above, so below. As within, so without. And yeah, it's like maybe this world that we're in, the world of our incarnate senses is just it's like the outermost layer. You know? And we get trapped in it because we are made to believe and told that this is all that there is, or that if you believe that there is more, then you're wrong. But it's like I've been saying, what I need to make me feel human, what I need to connect me to divinity, is not something that requires symbols or words. It is a warmth that spreads from within and touches everyone I love. And I really hope that it touches you here, now with me. Because you deserve to feel it too. It's yours, just as much as it is mine. But I'm trying to make words for it. I'm going to keep working at it. And this is something we're all doing together. So I love you. Thank you. Talk to you later.